I'm Stephanie Christensen, and I'm new to the Country Health Clinic. I have 14 years of experience as a nurse, and I'm really excited to focus on women's health here. And something that is not talked about enough is the transitional phase after you have children until you start perimenopause. There is a lack of for nomenclature for the exact terminology of what that time period even is. So this is just a funny slide. We do not mention that name. What name? Oh yes, there actually isn't a name for midlife fluctuating mamas. What shall we call ourselves? So honestly, there really needs to become a nomenclature for the time period from early 30s to mid 40s, when you're in a phase where your hormones start fluctuating, trending a little bit towards perimenopause, but you have not yet reached perimenopause or menopause. It's like your body's just playing around with the idea of your ovaries decreasing in egg and the egg follicles and the ovary production. So the agenda, I can't wait to grow up and have PMS, perimenopause, and menopause, said no little girl ever. And we're just going to talk about a few things. Why this craziness starts happening. Hormonal changes, weight gain, mood swings, sleep pattern changes, libido, acne, lack of motivation and fatigue, and decreased energy and trouble focusing. And these are things that I kind of reached out to a lot of women that I know and asked for their personal opinions of what they would like to know and how to navigate this time period in life. So I also will be going over a few supplements and recommendations that will help with this time period. So starting out, this is a graph of what a normal, from starting menses as a teenager into the mid-20s, early 30s. This is what a normal cycle looks like for a female. Well, your estrogen, progesterone, follicle stimulating hormone, and luteinizing hormone. And we're going to talk a lot about how those fluctuate, just starting to fluctuate once you hit your mid-30s. And I want to compare some symptoms. These are menopausal symptoms. We have, and then these are the, for lack of a name for it, I'm just going to call pre-perimenopause is what we are. We're not perimenopause, but we're pre. So we start having insomnia, weight gain, low to no libido, mood swings, fatigue, brain fog, low energy, depression, irritability, increased sensitivity to heat or cold, dry skin, puffy face, anxiety, increased hunger, acne, headaches, and hair loss. You'll notice that that's probably hard for you to see, but menopause is almost the exact same, with the exception of you have stress incontinence with the bladder, vaginal dryness, dry itchy skin, joint pain, brittle nails, and irregular heartbeat and palpitations, and hot flashes. So the difference that we have right now is that we don't get the vasomotor symptoms of the blood vessels constricting and dilating that cause that rush of hot flashes. Those luckily get saved until menopause. But the system, I'm going to go back to that original slide. What happens is our body starts playing around with our hormones, and what should normally be this progesterone curve, progesterone is secreted by the ovaries, and when you don't need to be releasing as many eggs every month because you're decreasing your eggs decrease down to about 10%. You have about 2 trillion eggs when you're born. By the time you're in your mid-30s, you're down to about 10% eggs. In your turning 40, you're down to about 3% of your eggs. So in your mid-30s, you're not dropping as many eggs as you usually do. A girl in her mid-20s is probably going to release about 11,000 eggs with each menstruation cycle. And so when the ovaries stop releasing as much hormone, then the progesterone that balances out your estrogen will decrease. And that's when you can have the estrogen dominant symptoms like the rage and the anger, the irritability. And also it can significantly change if Randy, the NP and I were talking today about how hormones are like Goldilocks. If it's too high, your estrogen, you're gonna have the raging, crazy feeling. Also, if it's too low, you can have the raging, crazy feeling. It likes to live right in the middle where you feel the happiness, the love, the excitement for life. You want to be social. You want to get out and do things. You feel more powerful. And estrogen is protected to your musculoskeletal system. It gives you the urge to work out and have energy. So when either of those are off, you're going to, if it's high or low, you can have similar feelings of anger, sadness, depression. And also in the absence of progesterone, it can feel that way. So it doesn't, I'm just going to draw on the board for you. So it's not like a normal curve like this, where it's just, they follow each other. We may see a spike like this, and then it'll go back to normal. And so it's like preparing for that. Your estrogen is building up for that baby. And then you're ovulating. I'm just going to draw some circles like little eggs. And then all of a sudden, where your estrogen would just be nice and balanced like this, you're getting a spike. And then you can go a little bit longer and you'll get a spike. And then there's not enough progesterone to level that out. Such a beautiful picture. I'm a really good artist. So that's what's happening when you're feeling those. All of a sudden you're like, I'm going to kill someone. Like, I feel so angry, or I feel so upset, or I feel so sad. You're experiencing these spikes, and the progesterone and estrogen are getting away from each other. So I just want to touch a little bit on the building blocks of hormones. For years and years, there was science and data saying how bad cholesterol is so bad. But now they're changing their other mind of cholesterol is the original building block for our hormones. And so we definitely need good cholesterol in our diet, and cholesterol for our brain, our liver, synthesis of hormones. So pregnenolone, DHEA, those go further breakdown into progesterone, the androgen hormones like testosterone, and then estradiol and estriol. And that's where, if we have the building blocks are low, then we're not going to be able to produce the right amounts and levels of hormones. So that's another thing that we're going to touch on, is the values of those hormones. I had a lot of women that were concerned about weight gain at this time period. So there's a huge flux at this time in life when your blood sugar is more unstable. And so one of the most important things, there's like a few main points that I want you to take from this, but one of the most important things is how you eat at this time in your life is so crucial. Your blood sugar is going to spike more easily, and you're going to be releasing insulin And as you release that insulin, your body will just keep producing insulin to try and keep up with the sugar. And it causes insulin resistance. So a lot of women that have these fluctuating hormones, also, if you look at their labs, are very consistent with insulin resistance because of the increased sugar and not protein to balance it out. So as the blood sugar rises, there's a decrease in sensitivity to insulin and an increase in insulin resistance. And we'll talk a little bit about how to help manage that. So visceral fat, I just want to touch on, it also starts increasing at this time of life, and even more so in perimenopause and even more so in menopause. But it starts to add a little bit now. So visceral fat is the first to go in weight loss. It's accumulates with stress. It surrounds your organs. So you can't see it from the outside, but inside it is coating your main organs. And it's the predictor of metabolic syndrome, follows insulin resistance, like I mentioned, and it releases high amounts of pro-inflammatory cytokines, which are toxic, can be toxic to the body and increase inflammation, which is going to cause a lot of problems in every system. Subcutaneous fat is if you just grab your middle or under your arms or just anywhere on your body, you can probably feel the subcutaneous fat. It's the stubborn fat. Estrogen increases this type. It may play a protective role. It's what helps with our insulation in our body. And it's less metabolically active and a normal buffer system for excess energy. Our metabolism changes with aging. And another thing that we keep an eye on during this time is our thyroid function, because a lot of the symptoms can look the same. And so it's important to keep an open mind of which complication we may be dealing with. So a reduction in estrogen and high follicle stimulating hormone and an increased anabolic and insulin resistance in women is what happens as we age, and it leads to a loss of lean muscle mass. And as we lose that muscle mass, we replace it with fat. So that's how you can see women who aren't active or engaging their muscles will atrophy. We're going to talk more about that as well, and just get squishy because our bodies are designed to do that. We have to help them out. In an effort to compensate for the loss of muscle, our bodies seek more protein by eliciting cravings. So you all of a sudden are like more hungry, and people naturally, even though your body is telling you that it's hungry and that it would like more protein, because of the decrease in estrogen, you also, and progesterone, you also crave sweets. So a lot of people will just start eating more and more carbs. And there's activity levels are decreasing as we age. So we require less energy from, burning less energy from food. So you're eating more carbohydrates as sugar, you're increasing your sugar levels. You're not eating the protein that your body actually is craving and needs. So you can see it's a perfect storm for gaining weight. And we consume more food to get the protein we require and gain weight if we don't change what we eat and our activity levels at this time. We have some formulas that are specifically designed to help with this. And it's number 15, berberine. It helps with the pancreas and blood sugar management and levels. 43 TG mega omega is going to be a healthy fat that helps those organs to function properly and not have as much visceral fat on them. And the DHEA and pregnenolone are those foundational building blocks that we had in the previous slide that will help balance. And when those levels are normal, then your body can produce the right amounts of hormones needed. So this is just a graph that shows the calorie need. As you start here, you can eat 2,200 calories a day, and you burn through that many calories, you don't gain weight, no problem. You only need 200 calories of protein. That's like adolescents, they can eat more carbs and get away with it. But as you age, you need less calories, less carbohydrates, and more protein, because your body is anabolically changing and the needs and requirements are different. I'm gonna pound protein tonight. If you don't take anything else out of this, I want you to know you need to eat more protein in your 30s and 40s. So another question I had was the hormonal headaches. Like, why all of a sudden am I having these awful headaches? I asked if it was okay if I swear in this. I said headache from hell because they are awful headaches. So the most important thing is to start by identifying the type of headache, and symptom management is going to be different per individual and the type of headache. So you can see over here on the chart that a tension headache is going to be more around like what you would feel if you had a tight headband on. Migraine headaches are usually unilateral, and they're going to be behind the eye and your whole side. And cluster headaches usually are behind the eyes. The allergy or sinus pressure headaches are going to be here. Caffeine headaches are more like a butterfly. And then the hormonal headaches, if you've had one, you know it's like deep inside and it's pretty much just your whole head. You cannot locate a specific thing because you're just like, it's my whole head. It just is killing me. And just some other types of headaches. There's a spinal, the exertion, and post-traumatic brain injury headaches. You're going to have it here on the sides and in the back by the spinal column. So hormonal headaches are usually the rapid shift of hormones. So remember my crazy, beautiful picture that when the estrogen levels and progesterone levels change rapidly, that's what causes the hormone headaches. And that's why you don't get them all the time, because your body isn't doing this all the time. It's kind of random and hard to control and manage. So what you're feeling, the headache, is these giant shifts that happen really rapidly. We have some supplements that can help with the headache. So Neuro 2 is going to provide more circulation to the brain. And then our hormone supplements are the ovary and uterus and the hormone support cream. Those will just help balance out those hormones naturally so that they won't have those spikes, and hopefully help decrease the headaches. So mood swings. This one is just like another group of funny memes, but it says, just so we're clear about this, I'm under no obligation to stay in the same mood for any length of time. Fury and rage is agitation, irritable. You may have worthlessness and depression, just random crying. Things that don't usually make you cry will make you extremely upset and can even put you down into a depression and worthlessness. That things that don't usually upset you can make you feel incredibly in a low place, and also feelings of hopelessness. So these other ones, warning, due to the influence of hormones, I could burst into tears or kill you in the next 5 minutes. I felt that before. I like that resonates with me. And then this one, I've got PMS, OCD, and ADHD. I want to cry and look pretty while I punch everyone in the throat, but I can't focus on that right now because I'm cleaning. I don't know why that's so funny. It's just funny to me. So as everything kind of goes back to these same issues of the fluctuations. And so we're going to talk a little bit about how to control those mood swings. Lack of energy and motivation and trouble focusing. If you've been someone that you can always just like make a list and get stuff done, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, why am I in this room? And what am I doing? And why I have all this stuff to do and nothing on my list even got done because I went in to do my laundry and now I'm doing something else. And then you just feel so tired that you feel like you haven't accomplished anything. And it all just feeds into a cycle of like, you just kind of feel like crap because you didn't get anything done and you feel crazy. So your body may need help with extra supplements at this time. Let's talk about B vitamins, vitamin D, UVC IVs, red light bed, omega-3. Those are going to be things that we can do here to help your symptoms and manage those. And you'll notice just an automatic lift and feeling better with your energy with those because of the antioxidants. The B vitamins will give you a boost and also help decrease stress levels. The vitamin D will help with your energy and your immune system. The red light bed helps with immunity, antioxidants, and with your brain and chemistries. And then the omega-3s are going to coat your brain and help with your moods and overall health. So another thing with lack of energy that we will consider is checking your iron, just to make sure that it's not anemia that you're dealing with. And we'll also possibly want to check your thyroid levels to make sure that, like I said, some of these symptoms correlate with each other, have the same appearance and presentation. So we just want to rule out what we're dealing with. The other thing that's not thought about as often when you're having these symptoms is gut permeability and gut health, because often if those the lining of the stomach that's supposed to stay tight like this starts stretching out, then the particles start seeping through that aren't supposed to get out into your bloodstream. And then your body starts producing immunities against those and putting little flag markers on them, causing an inflammatory response. And then you're not feeling well again. So that's something that we also have an amazing gut health formula. I've actually been using it myself, and it just in a couple days has already like made my stomach feel like normal again. I was having a lot of digestive complications, and now my stomach is like flat and feels so good again. So I have seen that personally work, and so yeah, we can consider that as an option as well. We also have our brain and memory enhancer that will help stimulate the neural circuits of your memory. And vitamin, we already talked about those other ones. So sleep pattern changes. This is another thing. There's a chart here that shows what happens in early menopausal transition, late menopause, postmenopausal, and surgically menopausal. So if you end up having a hysterectomy or having to have your ovaries removed for like cysts or problems like that, then you're automatically throwing yourself into a change in fluctuations that are going to affect your sleep. So every single section of time period that women go through, it can affect your sleep. So we have the GABA, number 17. It's just a natural relaxer. It's the same receptors that different medications that we use as sedatives work on. Also, alcohol works on the GABA receptors. Things that are just naturally calming work on those GABA receptors. So it is a way to just relax yourself before bed. Our Relax formula also has sleep effects, and then our 104, the GERD sleep, is designed to help with sleep. I also recommend if you try those and they're not helping, then to schedule an appointment with our nurse practitioner, because we can look at your hormones and we can tell you if you are deficient in your progesterone levels are getting too low. We can, during this luteal phase, well, my picture is like gone now, but during the luteal phase, when that, if you don't have enough progesterone, then we can supplement that progesterone, and that is one of the best things that you'll find for sleep during this phase. It just naturally is the calming hormone, and it will make a world of difference. We have so many patients that we just give them as a replacement of their progesterone, and they're like, I haven't slept this good in a long time. So it's perfect. Libido. We had questions for libido. So first, I just want to tell you how the hormones work for impacting your sex drive. So estrogen keeps the vaginal tissues lubricated and plump. It increases desire and makes sex more pleasurable. Progesterone keeps us calm, reduces PMS symptoms, and helps us sleep. But higher levels, just like I said, Goldilocks, if it's too high or low, it can also adversely impact your sex drive. So if it's off, then it may be affecting your libido. Testosterone is like estrogen. It spikes mid-cycle. So they work together to boost the sex drive, and they may even improve orgasms. So as you can see here, this time period is ovulation at the mid of week 2. So the testosterone is spiking, the progesterone is rising, and the estrogen has peaked and is just barely starting to come down. So all 3 of those hormones are working together. And that's when you're just like, hey, I feel good, let's go. So that's, if you're having problems with your libido, we may just need to help you balance out those hormones. Things that can cause an effect on those are obviously changes with aging. Birth control can really affect libido because most birth controls are a progestin, and they tell your body that they give you the feeling of pregnancy, telling your body that there is we're making a little bed for the egg. And so if that's off, then it can decrease your libido. Stress or other life circumstances, medications, especially serotonin reuptake inhibitors. I actually tried one of those a few months ago just because of all the stress I have in my life, or had at that time. And I can tell you, it takes your libido to 0. It is like, I just couldn't do it. It wasn't fun for me to like even be on that medication because I just felt like a zombie. And so if you're on an SSRI, then you can know that it may affect your libido. And they say 1 in 5 women, their libidos will not return while on an SSRI. Thyroid issues can affect your libido. Mental health issues, especially things like schizophrenia, bipolar, ADHD, things like that, and also past traumas or other mental health issues that you have with relationships, and hypoactive sexual desire disorder, where those neurotransmitters just are not working together to help you have a libido. So I posted a link to, can't see it very good on there, but if you want more information on the exact week by week things what your hormones are doing and how you should feel, this is a great explanation, just breaks it down into terms that are easy to understand. And so we can post that link if you would like more information on that. So pelvic floor tone and vaginal tone. We have some options here that we do vaginal ozone, which can increase circulation, reduce pain or inflammation, decrease yeast because of its anti-fungal, antibacterial. It helps genital herpes and bacterial vaginosis, and can decrease formation of pelvic adhesions. Are there options beyond Kegels for pelvic floor exercises? And yes, there are. There are more things that you can do besides just flexing Kegels. And I have those listed, and I'm gonna have Yessie post those exercises on Instagram or Facebook, just so that we can, women can use those 4 exercises that I'm gonna show you. The pelvic floor has 4 primary functions: is to support pelvic organs, including the bladder, uterus, prostate, and rectum, stabilize the pelvis and spine, assist with sexual function, and support bowel and bladder control. So you can see that all of those functions are things that are often embarrassing for women to talk about if they're having a problem with those, or they may not know that that's a problem that they're facing, or that pelvic floor muscle and health is deteriorating until it's already having problems. So it's just something that in your mid-30s, you want to start helping, so that you don't get into your late 40s and you're like, I can't do anything without peeing my pants, or not enjoying sex because it's not comfortable, it's painful. So those are things that if you start doing those exercises now, then it's preventative care for as you age and start going through perimenopause and menopause. So I have 4 exercises. I'm just going to tell you the name of the exercise, and then I'll have Yessie post these, okay? So the first one is a ball squeeze with a bridge, and that's going to help with the pelvic floor, the transverse abdominis, and the adductors. So it's going to help all of those, and those are all going to help strengthen the pelvic floor. The next one is the marching bridge. It's going to help the transverse abdominis, the adductors, hamstrings, gluteus maximus, gluteus medius, and the deep hip rotators. The third one is the heel press to the ceiling. That's going to help all of those same muscles as well. It just is a different thing to trade. And then side lying elevated hip rotations, and also going to help with all those pelvic floor muscles. So I'll have Yessie post those, and everybody can get lifting their pelvic floors and getting healthy there. Skin health was something that a lot of people were concerned about. So obviously we want to help with our skin health systemically from the inside, rejuvenating the cells, and then externally how we take care of our skin. So the 2 different pathways. We have supplements that will help with the systemic and internal supplements of synthesis of healthy cells and collagen and antioxidants, so that your skin can heal, repair, rejuvenate. So our 62 MSM's an anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. Sulfur is a main component, and it plays an important role in creating collagen and glucosamine, both of which are vital for healthy bones and joints, and the production of immunoglobulins, which will help your immune system. Our 88 Revive amino acids, I talk more on that one in our musculoskeletal slide, but the amino acids are the building blocks for the proteins that will help your skin grow the collagen. And vitamin E, of course, has the benefits for skin, hair, nails, and can be, you can take a lot of that when you want to help your skin. The 43 TG omega, this mega omega, it serves to regulate the skin's oil production, improve balance, hydration, subdue breakouts, and minimize signs of aging. It also helps soften rough, dry skin and has a soothing effect on irritation and dermatitis. So our UVC IVs are also going to help with the systemic vitamins that you need. Just put it straight into your bloodstream and let your body do what it needs to do to help heal and repair your skin. As far as external care, we have seen amazing effects and results with our Epionce line. So it's amazing at firming and restoring skin and maintaining a youthful appearance. And we have people who have used it for years and they look years younger than their actual age. You wouldn't guess their real age because they look amazing. And then also here it comes again, protein. You need to add more protein into your diet to help create those, to keep your muscles in place and not lose the atrophy, because when you lose the muscles, that's when your skin is going to start sagging. So protein is full of the amino acids which create collagen. Eating a diet rich in protein is essential if you want to boost and fortify your collagen levels and keep your skin looking smooth, clear, and free from wrinkles. Musculoskeletal tone. That is going to be one of the most important things, right, that I can tell you. The protein, the blood sugar, the hormone balancing, and your musculoskeletal tone are the things that I want you to mainly take away from this. So, like I said, the decreased estrogen and decreased activity decreases musculoskeletal synthesis. So, they all lead to floppy, saggy, flabby, and even if I drew your labs, I can usually tell exactly by looking at them that you're not eating enough protein and that you're breaking down, your body's starting to use your own muscles as your sources of energy. Our bodies are designed to start deteriorating. It's really sad, but it's true. So it doesn't have to be that way. Let's change this process. That's why we're doing this tonight. We need to stimulate musculoskeletal synthesis every day. So there's two pathways for stimulating that. One is through what you eat, and recommendations right now are to get 42, for women, are to get 42 grams of protein first thing in the morning. What I've started doing, I'm trialing it for myself, and I can tell you I feel amazing. It's awesome. I've started just eating a straight steak for breakfast, just straight up steak. And it's exactly around 42 grams of protein. It starts my day off with my blood sugar and insulin levels exactly where they need to be. And then it stimulates the musculoskeletal synthesis. It tells my body that I want to keep these muscles and that I'm feeding them. I'm feeding my muscles the nutrition, the amino acids that they need to retain in use. The other way to stimulate the musculoskeletal synthesis is with movement and resistance. So from the inside, you're telling your body to keep your muscles active. And from the outside, you've got to tell your body that you want to keep these muscles active, or else they're going to atrophy. It really is true, like use it or lose it with muscle. If you're not stimulating the use of the muscle, then your body is going to think it doesn't need that anymore. So what I do, and my neighbors probably laugh at me, like when I go on walks, I look hilarious because I literally walk down the road, like up on my tippy toes and down on my heels. And I'm like putting my arms up in the air and out. And like, I just try, even if I'm at work or in the car, I will just sit and like flex different parts of my body. Like, I know it sounds so weird, but all day long, I'm just like, I'll flex my glute muscles, and then I flex my vastus lateralis, and I'll flex my serratus anterior, and I'll twist my, like every single, like just pump your biceps and your triceps, like turn your arm and just like, even if you're like sitting in your kitchen, do some like push-ups on your countertop or lean backwards and do some tricep pushes on your countertop. drop down and do like a few push-ups, or like anything you can do just during the day, even if it's not like a full workout, just like flex your muscles and tell your body, hey, I still need these and I still want these. They're important to me. So keep them, keep feeding them, keep nourishing them. So some things, this is where I told you we're going to talk a little bit more about the 88 essential amino acids. So, the essential amino acids will help with your muscle metabolism, immune function, and help regulate hemoglobin in your red blood cells and regulate energy. They also help make protein and growth hormones. They help repair muscle tissue, heal wounds, and regulate blood sugar levels. They help with the production of hormones and energy, which obviously is something we already are having problems with. So definitely need that extra amino acids, which we get from protein and also from this supplement. And then they help with the body's tissue growth, metabolism, and detoxification, and also absorption of essential minerals, including zinc and selenium. And then they also they're involved in muscle growth, tissue regeneration, and energy. So we have our vitamin electrolyte replenisher after you do a workout, and then our calcium and magnesium, and our protein supplement. So here it is again, like I'm pounding it, protein, protein, protein. They are recommending 1 ounce per pound of body weight. So, or if you can't do that much, if you're, they recommend 120 grams of protein a day. If you just want a general amount. So this is just something I want you to remember. I've showed you all these crazy pictures. We've gone over the hormones. I want you to own this cycle. Don't let it control you, because when you get to this age, it feels like you're being controlled by these little waves. And there is a way around it. We can help with this. Just take care of your body, and it kind of tells you what it needs, and we just have to listen. So if you're ready to feel like yourself again and take control of those waves, we want to help you with that. And this is our team. So if you have any questions, let us know from the presentation. Also, I'll have Yessie post those pelvic floor exercises and the link to go describe more in depth the weekly, how you feel with each week of your cycle and what to expect with your hormone fluctuations. So then you can know if you're off enough to need some hormone replacement therapy. I just wanted to also mention that in 2003, a study came out that said that hormone replacement therapy with estrogen is awful because of the cardiovascular risks and things, but science now is moving towards understanding that that study that was done was on women in their 60s, and people in their 30s and 40s that are starting to have these changes like us are actually protected by estrogen. It protects musculoskeletal health. It protects your energy and your mood and your happiness and your drive. We just kind of need to remove the stigma of thinking that hormone replacement therapy is the devil, because it actually can be exactly what you need. So if you're feeling these symptoms, don't be anti replacement. If it's like, if your body is low on magnesium or low on sodium, you're going to help to balance those levels. So if you need some help with your hormones, you're going to want to take the next step and help yourself out with that. So don't let that stigma get to you, that you're going to have like a heart attack when you're in your 30s if you have estrogen, because it's not true. Like your body naturally creates it, but sometimes we just need a little help balancing it. So thank you, and I'll see you next time.
Hey, good job.